morning and welcome to GrainTV. My name is Cody Bills. This is Brock Shimano. Today is August 29th and the markets seem to be ticking a little bit higher after a couple days of selling. Corn is moving higher, beans also moving higher, but wheat is charging to the upside. Brock, we have some stories out of Russia. Can you give us an update there?
Yeah, basically what we're seeing out of Russia is harvest results are looking pretty disappointing compared to what analysts were actually expecting. 62% of their land is harvested as of right now, but their yields are the concerning part. They're 27% below what they were last year through this part of the harvest season. So that's pretty concerning. That's going to add a little bit of upside pressure to our American futures contracts over here.
That sounds fair enough. Now, there was expectations for a poor crop out of Russia. That's one of the reasons that wheat has been able to rally in the past weeks. And of course, as a result of that, there's been talks of tariffs. There's been talk of export restrictions. What's going on over there? What can we expect?
Later this week, there's going to be a meeting between the Russian Deputy Prime Minister in charge of foreign policy and their agricultural minister. They're going to be discussing possible export bans or export restrictions. As of right now, there's nothing in place. People aren't really expecting anything to happen out of this meeting, but if something did happen, that would be very bullish for American prices.
Yeah, I heard that Ukraine traders really weren't expecting any sort of change to the fundamental policy that they have in place. So I think the expectations is that there's going to be no new news on the market. But of course, because those are the expectations, if there are new news, it'll trigger prices to go a lot higher. Also, in terms of outside markets this week, on Friday we're going to have a meeting down in Jackson Hole. Brock, with Federal Chairman Bernanke, what are the expectations there? Do you think that the market is looking for some sort of quantitative easing?
I don't think they're going to come out directly and say that there will be quantitative easing at this meeting. What the market's kind of expecting is some kind of indications for it. It might come down the road. Later on, their September meeting, we might see some more indications of quantitative easing 3.
That sounds fair enough. The implications of quantitative easing is basically what would be happening is that they would be purchasing treasury bonds and putting more money into the economy. And of course, the problem here is that there's plenty of money in the economy, there's plenty of U.S. dollars in the economy, but there's no velocity behind it, which means that the money that's in the banks isn't being lent. So we need to find some sort of trigger to lend that money to jumpstart this economy. And what I'm worried about is that if you do have a quantitative easing, there is a possibility that some of that money does move into the markets, obviously, and of course the grain markets would be affected by that. You could see markets move and creep higher. So I personally don't think that Bernanke is going to be shooting that last bullet on Friday, but we'll have to wait and find out. Of course, we'll be tweeting on that as soon as it occurs. Thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow for the export sales report.